We are designed to eat meat in exactly the same way that we are designed to murder each other.
No, we're not designed to murder. Tell me, what weapons do I have to murder?
Well,
specifically?
I have all the attributes to murder you and other people. I have those attributes.
No.
And the only way I have those attributes is because they have been designed into me.
No. I'll tell you.
Otherwise, they wouldn't be there.
No, you are not designed to murder. You have physical ability to cause harm, but doesn't mean you're designed to murder.
Yeah, it does.
In fact, God, in all religions you'll know of, monotheistic or otherwise, will tell you, do not commit murder, do not kill. Why? Because even though you have the power to harm others, you're not designed to do so. Okay? A knife is not designed for murder. A knife could be a kitchen knife designed to slice your vegetables and your food and so on.
But the design of a knife enables it to use...
You can use it wrongly.
Yeah, exactly.
But
that's my point.
But my point is rather yourself, human being, the physical makeup is designed in a particular way. So we cannot just say, I have a feeling that thought comes to me that it's okay to commit euthanasia, assisted killing. It's okay to abort a fetus when it's 5 months old. Your thoughts and my thoughts, they may be different. So when we have a difference of thought, if I were to ask the same question, someone is in pain, should we give them medicines to commit suicide, assisted suicide?
No.
Okay. There are some people, they say, yeah, why are we letting them suffer? Let them just take their own life.
Indeed.
So our common sense, or what comes in our brains, in our thoughts, are different. So that means individual thoughts that we have in our brain cannot be the arbiter, cannot be the one who decides what is acceptable and what is not, what is true and what is false, what is right or wrong. It cannot decide it. Like abortion. Do you think it's okay to abort a child when it's 4 months old?
No.
No. Some people say, my body, my business. I can abort whenever I want. In their mind, it's okay, I don't want that baby. Yeah? So, our thoughts that comes into our mind, would you agree, cannot be the arbiter, the one that decides between what is acceptable, what is not acceptable, what is wrong, what is right?
Well, I would put it to you like this. Where you are citing a victim, would you want to be that victim? And when you would not want to be that victim, then you know it's wrong.
So you're taking that principle in which when you don't want to do harm to others because you don't want harm done to be you.
Exactly.
Yeah, but that's the harm principle. Yeah, you're talking about the harm principle. You are living your life by harm principle. I don't want harm done to others. Sometimes it's necessary to inflict harm on others, like criminals. We punish them by putting them behind bars and deprive them of their enjoyment behind bars because they did something wrong. Harm is something that is justified because of what we consider they have done a crime by harming others, right? So when a police shoots someone on their foot because they have a sword to chop some innocent people's head off, that shooting on the foot to prevent that criminal to slice someone's head off is, you would say, justifiable, because that's the only way that criminal can be stopped from committing a crime. So this harm principle is not just as you think, it has a context. Warfare, for example, which you agree with earlier, if another country like the French, no disrespect to the French people, if you come to invade Britain, people in Britain, citizens of Britain, whether they're military or not military, they will try to defend themselves rather than saying, oh, love with flowers and kisses. Because if they come to kill you, you defend yourself. So you defend even by killing them. That's what happens in warfare. Their intention is to kill you. The only way to stop them is by killing them. So killing them, a harm that is done, is actually the right thing to do there if you want to save yourself. Or are you going to say, you know what, I don't believe in causing harm. I
didn't say that I don't believe in causing harm.
Yeah.
I believe in causing great harm if I need to do it. It's not going to kill me or if you're going to attack me, I believe in causing you an enormous amount of harm.
to defend yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's not what I'm saying at all.
Good. So even the
what
harm.
I'm saying is, you see, in any scenario, you must put yourself. If there is a victim, you must put yourself in the place of the victim. And if you don't want to be in that place, then don't create it. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, this principle is good, not necessarily, but it has its own flaws and so on, exceptions. We're not talking about that. What I'm saying is, there is a greater arbiter, the arbitrator, the judge. We say is the one who gave us life, one who created us. He decides, for example, whether I'm going to abort a baby when it's 2 months old, or 120 days, or 40 days, whatever. He allows what is permissible, and he prevents, or not prevents, he prohibits you from what is impermissible. Because the one who created me knows more than me. The one who created everything knows more than everything. So that's why we say our human thought that comes to our mind, sometimes it will say the good thing. Why? Because God has already instilled within us. Let me show you. So you try to understand why I say so. Because God said, فَأَلْهَمَهَا فُجُورَهَا وَتَقْوَاهَا قَدْ أَفْلَهَ مَنْ زَكَّاهَا وَقَدْ خَابَ مَنْ دَسَّاهَا. Right? This is a chapter in the Quran.
Man Mansur, he says earlier on, one of the brothers was reciting the Quran for him, and he felt peace and tranquility. You felt
Well, it was nice.
inspired.
He has succeeded who purifies it, and he has failed who instills within it corruption. Okay? قَدْ أَفْلَهَ مَنْ زَكَّاهَا وَقَدْ خَابَ مَنْ دَسَّاهَا. Okay? The other ones, فَأَلْهَمَهَا فُجُورَهَا وَتَقْوَاهَا. Which surah, remind me? The same one. And inspired it, its wickedness and its righteousness. In our soul, God has already inspired us to understand and to know intuitively something that is bad, something that is good. So your heart will recognize rape is wrong, murder is wrong, killing innocent people is wrong, stealing is wrong, and so on. Because God has already inspired you within it. The knowledge of good and bad, if you think about it, God has inspired you within it, but He says, successful are the ones who purifies it. And the one who has in a loss is the one who corrupts his soul, but going against all of that and committing all these wrong things. So there is always a balance that needs to be done. God constantly wants us to purify, elevate ourselves, to make ourselves in a way constantly striving to be better. So there is the inside us, the propensity or the understanding of something that can cause harm and so on, but God says don't commit any harm, and so on and so forth. So what you already have, I'm not saying that this is not correct or true. This is already given to you and me by God.
Absolutely.
But we cannot use that as the only source, because sometimes we may not know at what point our own ego is deceiving us. Our own ignorance is deceiving us by thoughts coming us. Sometimes you might even not know the plan of the wicked one, the Satan, who is giving you something and you think it's good, but actually it's good mixed with a greater falsehood which you do not understand it yet. Because he has a long-term plan. A long-term plan, and initially you think, yeah, why not? That's okay, looks okay. But overall, he has a plan. Eventually he's going to take you away from worshipping one true God. That's one of the drives, motives, and the goal of Satan, is to not worship God, but worship or live your life according to your own self, your own desires. Quran says, have you not seen the one who has taken his own desires as God? Meaning, he makes himself the judge, the arbiter of everything, right and wrong. Yeah, there are many people, I'm not saying yourself, my friend, many people who don't listen to anyone else and say, okay, I have within me the actual yardstick of right and wrong. I don't need to listen to any society, any government, any school of thought, any scholars, any gurus, pundits, whatever.
Well,
So,
I listen to everyone, but I don't agree with everyone. So I agree with what I believe.
so you make differentiation between what makes sense to you
Indeed.
and agreeable to you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Quran is a guide for exactly people like yourself and ourselves, in which this is what it says. It's a book that you are asking for. I want to know which is going to be. And I'll tell you about the exceptions. This is the book about which there is no doubt, a guidance for those who are conscious of Allah, God. You do know there is a creator, God of this universe. And you do want to...
That's what I believe.
Yeah, and you do want to praise and thank and glorify and be grateful to this one who has given you life and the sustenance and all the good things. And you want to know how to perform your life in the best possible way. The Quran says this book is without a doubt that guidance that you seek, because you are God conscious and it will guide you exactly what is necessary. But at the same time, God says, look, there are people who, because of their own desires, they think this is not doable, not to do, but it's actually better for them, and vice versa. Yeah, like yas'alunaka, it says they ask you about this, and God says, and answers like that. And the idea that, for example, listening to prophets and messengers, you say you take ideas from people and you filter them out. God sends a prophet and a messenger, last of them being Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He gives us a guidance, and your heart and your mind, when it's unclouded by biases, away from biases, it will agree with. When the Quran says, when you find your parents reach old age, extend to them wings of mercy. If you find one or both of them, do not say to them, uff, even uff, but extend to them a wing of mercy and say to them, O Lord, Rabbana, Rabbi ighfirli wa liwaliday. There's another, Rabbi irhamhuma kama rabbayani saghira. O Lord, have mercy on them as they had mercy on us when we were young. So we have no concept of putting people into old people's home. When they're old, our duty to look after them.
Yeah.
When we were babies, we did not have the ability to clean ourselves, feed ourselves. Our parents, they woke up from sleep to feed us, to clean us.
Indeed. Yeah.
So the message that the Quran tells you about, like, worship Allah and be dutiful to your parents, your heart and your mind will say, I can accept that.
Absolutely.
Like this. The only thing, if you disagree with, ask yourself, why am I disagreeing? No.
I don't disagree. I
If you
disagree with any of that.
if you disagree with something in the Quran, ask yourself, why am I disagreeing with it? Is it because of some social conditioning that I had? Because of that, like a vegetarian may disagree because he says about you can eat animals. Sure. Ask them, why are you disagreeing? God says we've made all of this provision for you, made subservient, behold, the sun and the moon, subservient to your service. We are using now the sun for solar energy. Yeah. Likewise, we can use the moon for various things and so on. So when you read the Quran, what's your name, my friend?
Ed.
Ed. This Quran, you shouldn't be disagreeing with at all if you are in your pure, what's this called? A mind which is already being indoctrinated by social conditioning. So far,
I certainly try not to be.
so far, I see that you have a pure heart.
Well, I hope so. Yeah.
The Quran guides those with this pure heart.
Sure.
It's only becomes impervious to guidance by people who are indulged in sin, wrongdoings,
Indeed.
bad actions.
Sure.
If you are not someone in these actions, it'll be easier for you to receive this guidance in the Quran. Anyone who has bad actions, they have to stop doing all these bad actions to be recipient of the mercy and guidance of God. Okay? Guidance.
Thank you.
Guidance is something God wants everyone to have, but we need to be ready for it. Yeah.
Thank you,
So I hope
thank you,
God
Gabriel.
opens up your heart even more to the truth of Islam. And the next time I want to see you like my brother here, a Muslim, I want you, Ed, to see you as a Muslim, because
like me.
only then we will have the.
You'll have to introduce me to your outfitters.
Yeah, you want to have a bigger one instead of small one?
Very kind of you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
Thank you.
Thank
So
you.
he can read.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's good. Similar.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Translation is a good translation. Let's have a look. Some translation may be just like
No, I
thee,
don't-
thou.
No.
Is that something very archaic? But you should be able to know. That should be okay, I think. But anyway, even if it is, as an Englishman,
No, sure.
you should be able to.
No.
I'll be having a wander around.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Have a nice evening.
Okay? You take care. You take care.
Learn a lot of things, today. Beat myself learning. This is master. This is the master.
No. I'm just a nobody, my brother.
Yeah.
Right? I try to, give something that I know
Yeah.
and share the truth with you.
MashaAllah.
Take care.
Take care, sir. Thank you. MashaAllah.